from Texas reserves. The gentlelady from California.
Thank you very much. The gentleman, Mr. Kelly, please do not leave, because I want you to know that I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be. And this business about making America great again, it is your president that's dividing this country. And don't talk to me about the fact that we don't understand what happens on the automobile. No, I will not yield. No, I will not yield.
Okay.
Don't tell me that we don't understand. That's the attitude that's been given toward women time and time again.
The gentlelady will suspend. The chair wishes to remind all members that they are to address their remarks to the chair.
I respect the chair, but don't stop me in the middle when you didn't stop him in the middle. And so I shall continue. Don't you dare talk to me like that and think that somehow women don't understand what goes on the floor of automobile dealers.
Minded to direct her remarks to the chair. The gentlelady will continue in order.
I will continue to do that. However, I don't appreciate that you did not interrupt him when he was making those outrageous remarks about him knowing more about discrimination than I know about discrimination. I resent that, and I resent the remark about making America great again. He's down here making a speech for this dishonorable president of the United States of America. Having said that, I reserve the balance of my time, and no, I do not yield not 1 second to you. Not 1 second. Not 1 second to you.
Gentlelady reserve.
Reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves the balance of her time. The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
I have no other speakers, Mr. Speaker, so I reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentlelady from California is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members. There are times on the floor of this Congress that we hear some of the most outrageous comments in defense of some of the most outrageous practices. This resolution is yet another harmful piece of legislation from the majority that should be rejected. Week after week, instead of working to benefit hardworking Americans and protect the public from abusive financial institutions, Republicans have advanced legislation to undermine and remove consumer and investor protections, threaten the stability of our economy and financial system, and benefit bad actors in the financial services industry. They're taking our system of financial regulation in precisely the wrong direction. Today, as we have discussed, the majority is putting forth a Congressional Review Act resolution that would repeal important Consumer Financial Protection Bureau guidance to prevent discrimination by indirect auto lenders. This resolution would set back efforts to prevent discriminatory auto lending, harm consumers, and make it harder for responsible businesses to follow the law. It is senseless and misguided. The resolution would also set a dangerous precedent by repealing years-old regulatory guidance, which is not how the Congressional Review Act was intended to be used, opening the door to inappropriate uses of the Congressional Review Act like this one threatens the important work of regulators, not just of the financial services industry, but of all industries. So I call upon my colleagues across the aisle to work with the Democrats on policies that strengthen consumer protections rather than the harmful rollbacks like the one before us today. I urge members to oppose the resolution, and I want my friends on the opposite side of the aisle to know that we don't easily get up and talk about discrimination against minorities and people of color. We don't like to have to do this. We wish that we had come to a time in the history of this country where it did not happen. But I am appalled when the opposite side of the aisle stands up in strong defense of discrimination. If they were really interested in working with the Democrats, they would say, we have a better methodology of determining whether or not there's discrimination. We want to work with you. We want to do whatever is necessary to ensure that no one is discriminated against. Yet, I hear from members like Mr. Kelly, who come to the floor talking about we don't know what we're talking about. We don't understand it. We've never been on the floor of a dealership. Oh, yes, I have. My husband was in the car business. I know a lot about it. And I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlelady's time has expired.